Okay. Back online. Now, let's try the clock again. Stopwatch. Okay. So if we put the stopwatch, I don't know, let's put it in the middle. Alright. Starting the stopwatch now. See how long it takes. Okay. Still the same delay on Twitch. And looks like there's an 8-second delay on YouTube as well. Hey. Hey, alright. Ajax, if you're still here, it seems that you have fixed my problem with the delay between platforms. No, yeah, Amenor, I know. It's gonna just start spamming notifications. That's why I put the title as to be disregarded, because I'm just testing stuff. Unfortunately, I can't really stop it from notifying everybody when it goes live, but at least it's here. Now, let's try one more time the clock, see if it's working. Hey Keg, what's going on, man? The Duo Bot. Hey. Hey Keg, how you doing? What's going on, Bruce Wayne? Just testing stream stuff right now. Looks like I've got the YouTube and the Twitch stream working again. But now I just need to... I kind of want to improve stream quality, but I wonder how I can do that. When I'm standing still, it looks pretty okay. But when I'm moving and doing stuff, it looks really pixely and ugly. Huh. Well, a 10-second delay still isn't the best. Like around a 10-second delay, it's not the best, but at least it's better than 30-second delay, you know? Let me just get the treasure here. Yeah, on Twitch it doesn't look too bad, honestly. What about on YouTube? I mean, YouTube more or less looks the same. It just doesn't look like, you know, if you're actually playing it with the actual game quality on your own device, so... I guess you gotta take some... You win some, you lose some, I guess. It looks good, to be honest. I guess I'm being overly critical about it. Because I see on my own monitor the game, and then I see the game on my other monitor with the stream, and it doesn't look as good. But that's obviously just because it's a stream, I guess. But, huh. Don't really have anything planned on what to do. I was just kind of testing. Oh, let's get the last treasure. Just perfect. Hopefully I can actually get this and finish the quest for the week. Hey, alright, good. We are done with this quest for the week. Let's just go turn this in. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do. Holy Nesquik, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back. I did increase the bitrate though. I increased it by an extra 500. So now instead of streaming at 3000, I'm streaming at 3500. So that actually should be better technically, because that means that there's more bits per second. Theoretically, if I increase it further, it should increase the overall stream. But if it's 720p at 30, then 3500 bits should be fine for quality. I guess we'll just have to test it in a raid, I guess, next week. Oh, I should wait till tomorrow to get this, right? Yeah. One day and I can turn that in and get a little bit more AP from that. Maybe 10 million or something. Kegdad, low-key, I want to start playing Paladin as my main. Why, Cheap Breezy? What's going on with you and Paladin, man? Well, it can't be like the real game, of course, but in the end, you got it going with solid quality. Yeah, a lot of streamers and YouTubers are really like hyper focused on getting their stuff to be looking as good as possible, like video edits and overall quality and, you know, sharpened stuff and scaling. And in the end, if you just make a good video or have a good stream, people will watch you, right? They'll look at your content. Try if you could stream on YouTube with 60 FPS. Now it doesn't. No, with 60 FPS, I'd have to increase the bitrate a little bit more. And the idea is to stream on Twitch and YouTube. If I had to pick only one platform to stream on, I pick Twitch. That's what I've been doing for the past month. But yeah. Oh, I was thinking Prot Paladin, Chi Breezy. That's what I was thinking. I thought you wanted to tank on your Paladin. Well then, I mean, Rhett is a different story, so I can probably understand that. Red is kind of cool. Naked Stone does a shit ton of damage. You know that for sure. The animations for Red look a little lackluster compared to the other melee classes, in my opinion, though. They don't look as cool. Just wanted to thank you for your awesome videos and wanted to ask you about the add-on used to show your used abilities, the Duobot. This add-on here that shows my abilities used, if I could get it to work. Hold on. So, if I use Chi Burst, if I use this, if I use the abilities that pop up here, these are all an add-on called Trophy GCD. I'll actually type it in here. Trophy GCD. That's the add-on there. And you kind of just position it and move it around wherever you want. And it just shows your recently used abilities. I don't actually look at this ever. It's just for the stream or the videos so that people can tell what I'm doing. But I never personally use it for my own work. You just killed a L'Oreal Mythic a few hours ago. Your point of view really helped me with that, man. Awesome, dude. I'm glad to help. I usually just think the point of view videos are just to show something from, well, my point of view, I guess. Not to really serve as a guide, but I guess that would be wrong if I would assume that, because, I mean, I use point of view videos sometimes to help me out with stuff, like the challenge videos, the tanking challenge. I've been trying to get it on my bear for this mage tower. I'm probably not going to get it because I haven't even gotten to cruel yet, but I have been using those. Try and see what they're doing. Doing just Twitch right now with my stream setup, looking at 6K bitrate to get everything working at 1080p 60 FPS. Yeah, 6K bitrate's probably a bit too much for my internet right now. Because I live in a house with 5 other people, so I can't really hog up all the internet. And even if I wanted to, they're probably using it for like Netflix and stuff, so that'd be a bit selfish. He's back. That's just for one stream setup. Man, dude. What the hell? Yeah, well, I'm a Brewmaster main as well, using your weak auras too, so it was a good example on how to tank it. Oh, I can understand that. I can understand that. Well, if you got something out of the video, then I guess it was worth uploading, right? If you're able to figure out what I did and emulate, that's what I'm saying. I don't like the mage tower anymore, though. Did all the challenges already just for the AP, you know? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to get it on my tanks, you feel? Like, I want to get it on my bear, because, well, you know, hello, bear skin. Gotta have that. As far as my other tanks, though, I don't think I would... Like, if I played DK, I probably wouldn't care. The Paladin one doesn't look that good. Prot Warrior one doesn't look that good. Well, actually, no, Prot Warrior one looks amazing. What am I talking about? Vengeance one doesn't look that great. I mean, it's decent, it's pretty cool, but it's not something that I need to get right now. I think I would just wait till I outgear it and just kind of like smoke through it, because I really don't want to like I really don't care if people think that I'm good at my bear or not, because like it's not something that I really value. It's not my main character. Have I completed my challenge? Yes, I have actually. This is the Brewmaster weapon right here, you can see. I posted a video about a month ago of me doing it, and I also have a guide on what I did. New guild working out. New guild's pretty good. New guild's pretty good. I don't really think that I fit in yet, just because like these guys have done heavy progression for months now. A lot of them have been playing together for a while, and well, I mean, you know, I'm the new guy, right? So that's kind of like that's kind of grounds for being a little off or out there, I guess. I am the new guy, so. But also, I have to compete with these 2 other tanks because they said that there was only going to be 1 tank spot open, which that's why I came. But then they ended up taking back the tank who G-quit, so I guess I kind of have to fight with him to get a spot if they do take him, so... Prot Warrior was pretty quick though, need a lot more time on my monk than Sko on his warrior. I mean, Prot Warrior you'd think would be pretty quick, but if you don't know how to play one, if you're lower geared, then... I mean, I don't even have one at 110, so I can't really say. I only have like 3 characters at 110. And actually I have 4, but one of them is Alliance and I don't play him. My Holy Paladin wiped at 20%. There's actually 2 stages to the Holy Paladin one, if I'm not mistaken. The healer one, I guess. You have to heal all the dudes, and then you have to like damage some other guy, I think. Tell them the general population vote has voted in favor to you hogging all the internet. You have an actual weak aura for stagger. Weak aura 2.0 from YouTube doesn't work. What? What do you mean? This weak aura here should work. Oh my god, holy computer. God damn, what have I done? This one. This here, the stagger amount, this is a... There's the weak aura is right there. HTTPS. There we go, let me find this. www.wago.io/41I1GDAQZ. I don't know if this will work. Oh yeah, this works. Here, this is the weak aura, man, that I use. I don't know why it's not working for you, but here's the weak aura that these guys are talking about. It's the stagger one. That's the one that shows the value. The one with the bar is different, but that's the one with the bar is included in this whole setup here. You have to heal 8 first and then kill the boss, but your group can kill it solo easily. You just have to keep yourself low because they take more damage the higher your HP is. That's kind of weird that they take more damage when your HP is higher. That's kind of off. Doesn't sound something like a healer mechanic, but I mean, I guess that it's a healer mechanic. Just doesn't sound like a usual one that you'd run into on the daily. Was it more you got poached or more of you getting tired of the constant regression and changing roster and Dishonor? Just curious. It was a mix of both, G-Breezy. I mean, I applied to them many weeks ago and they declined me, and then after they lost their tanks when they killed Mythic Gul'dan, they reached out to me and said that if I wanted to join then I could. So technically it was a poach. You know, and their overall progression and roster setup was pretty appealing. They raided an hour earlier, which meant that I wouldn't have to stream and go to bed so late, so that was a plus as well. So it was a mix of that, and then also it was a little bit of the regression too, Cheap-Breezy. It's just we kept going back and forth, and then things were looking up, but it just didn't feel like they were looking up fast enough. So that's kind of my answer, I guess. You have another in YouTube, so I asked. There's 2 videos on YouTube. There's the one with my old weak auras, which are like gigantic, and then there's the one with these current weak auras that I'm using. And this weak aura package, if you go to the link that's in there, it should have everything, so you gotta just download all of that. But yeah. Just saw your weak aura for the trinket and healing elixir. Can you post it? Oh, this is not a weak aura. This is actually just LVY. If you look here, oops. If you look here in LVY, see, it's the actual bar in LVY, so I just have it there. Because I move this out actually quite often. Like, I move these around. So I actually have the Archimon's one because I don't really have a weak aura for this. So I just have it here so I know when I can use it. And then the healing elixir, I just have it because usually I would have it down here on my number 10. However, when I switch between Dampen Harm and healing elixir every now and then, I have to keep like moving the icon over, you see? So if I just have healing elixir on C and then Dampen Harm on 0, then I should always know when it's available. And like no matter what my keybind is, I should be able to press it and I'm good to go. You see on Mythic Gul'dan I had Dampen Harm here so I could see the cooldown a little bit better. Because my weak aura doesn't really show it too well for me, but I don't know, it looks kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, it's not a weak aura, it's just an LVI bar. Hey Cyrith, what's going on, man? And last one, you have this link. Let's see this link. Okay, yeah. So Enyar is me. I almost didn't pronounce it right. So if you go to that link that you just posted, there's one that says normalized stagger, which I'm just putting that in there to credit the guy. But if you download just the Keggernaut brew trackers, the Keggernaut Brewmaster UI, and the Hapu's Stagger Tick Weak Aura, if you download those three, then they should work. And actually, let me edit this here, because this is a little bit incorrect. So normalized stagger is included in this collection, but is already included and correctly sized in Keggernaut. There you go. So yeah, if you download Hapu's and then both of my Keggernaut ones, everything should work. But the normalized stagger, you do not have to download. No, yeah, I didn't make it the most clear, but I wanted to include it so that it was so that I would credit the guy, you know, because I didn't make that. That's a lot of coding that I can't handle, so I wanted to put it in there to credit the dude. So I recently played my monkey game. I'm getting bored of the Windwalker playstyle. I've played quite a bit of Brewmaster, but I'm still having any difficulties grasping the playstyle. Have any tips? Jason, man, if you have any like real big questions that like how do I do my rotation? How do I gear? How do I get legendaries or whatever? I have a video on my channel. It's like an hour long, so it's a long video, but this song is annoying. But it's a whole guide on how to play Brewmaster. And then I have a couple supplementary videos like the Rushing Jade Wind rotation and how to corner tank. So there's a lot of resources out there, just on my channel alone. But you could also look at the stuff on Wowhead. There's a guide on Wowhead. There's a website called peakofserenity.com. It's got a lot of Brewmaster stuff in there too as well. And then there's the Brewmaster Discord, which you can go ahead and check. And they might have some answers to your questions, but just from my channel, what I have available, there's a lot of videos on my channel that can teach you how to play. Oh, I see it now. What I've been asking myself though, can you make a guide on LVY or show how to make it? Like for example, your setup that you have at the moment. I struggle a bit. Holy Nesquik, I also have a video on that too. It's in the description of the stream here. I'll just copy the link. But if you go to this link here that I just posted, it should take you to a playlist that has Keggernaut's LVY setup. So you can go ahead and download my UI package, or my LVY from there. There's a couple things that I changed, like I made the minimap smaller, and I made this, which is not present in that thing. But you can learn how to set up LVY that way. And I go over all the settings. The easiest way to use weak auras and how to make your own. And then there's a video of all the add-ons that I use, and then there's a few videos of all the weak auras that I use as well. So everything is there, if you guys are interested. I'm working on my blood DK at this point. Don't think I'm going to get above 906 on my brew. Yeah, it's pretty hard. I was 904 actually for like 904, 903 for the longest time. Then I got lucky with this getting Titan Forged to 910, this getting Titan Forged to 915, then I got this Titan Forged to 920, I got this Titan Forged to 925, and then I got this Facepalm Relic Titan Forged to 905. This was 885 before, I believe, so I got a lot of good upgrades here and there, and also I got an upgrade for this. This was 910. Before, I think it was 895 or it was 900, so I got a couple boosts here and there of some gear. But I honestly would, if I had different stats on these legs, I would so change them out, because this just has haste on it, man. I don't want haste. Like, 925 with haste on it. Like, are you kidding me? I can't have mastery or versatility. But, I mean, I can't complain 925. But, like, what is a little bit annoying, though, is that having the legs and the helmet be 920 and 925 means that I have to have a tier on strange spots. So like if I wanted my 4 set, I need to have my hands, my shoulders, my cloak, and my chest on Brewmaster. However, I can't equip the chest because the legendary is too good. So that means I have to get rid of one of my 920s. So if I get rid of the legs, a 925 down to an 890, and then my helmet a 920 down to an 895. But it just sucks, man. Like, I lose so many item levels trying to get my 4 set. So Brewmaster is not that bad, but if I play Windwalker, I want to get my 4 set because it's really powerful. But I have to sacrifice so many item levels to do it that it's really a pain to try and justify what's good or not. Yeah, Nesquik, I have a whole setup there. Yeah, I should really come and watch Twitch and help Keg out, and everything you will want to know is on his profile. We're lonely, click the Twitch link. Yeah, that is true. I mean, you guys can watch wherever you want. I'm not really too stingy about it anymore. I was trying to get everybody to come over to Twitch, but if you guys would like to come to Twitch, you obviously can. However, you don't have to. I'm just going to try and offer both streaming services here at the same time from now on. Unless something in the future changes, so yeah. I got 925 haste versatility hands on my monk. Nice, man. My legs are crit haste, so... And they're heavy on the haste. If it was heavy on the crit, I honestly wouldn't be too annoyed with it, but because they're haste heavy, I'm a little tilted, but I can't really complain too much because it's 925, right? So, and then I did get a 920 of versatility mastery, so that's great. I did not try the Mage Tower challenge after the nerf. Was it the level of difficulty right now? Having 905 and all the interesting legs. You could probably do it, Barbaroos, not gonna lie. You could probably do it. Like, I did mine at around the same item level you are. Probably a couple item levels below, like 902, 903. And I had all the good legendaries as well. I mean, it takes a while to get used to, because it's weird trying to tank that. But for the most part, you can do it. It's pretty nerfed right now. Oh my god. I feel stupid, but it won't loaded for me. But even if I change condition to just monk, it's loaded. But not work still. That's weird. I don't understand what's going on. Webcam arrays? No webcam right now. No webcam. I was going to use this as just testing the stream settings and stuff, but I guess it's a chill hangout stream right now. Can I ask you or anyone to come test the weak aura that I have? I don't know what's going on, man. I mean, it doesn't load if you don't have any stagger, so if you start getting hit, it should pop up, if I'm not mistaken. Where is it? I can't find it. Oh, this one. It loads in combat, so you have to be fighting something. It loads on Monk and only on Brewmaster. I guess you can unclick player name. I guess I had that on by accident, but I didn't have anything typed in there, so it really shouldn't matter. But I guess you can unclick this, and maybe it'll work. But aside from that, everything seems to be in good condition. Just make sure that you're in combat and actually have stagger, and then it should pop up for you. Percent-wise, how much haste am I aiming? I usually aim for as little haste as possible. I've usually tried to hover around between 8 to 10% for the most part. That's just how I've always played. I actually had a while where I was playing with a lot of haste, like at the beginning. And you can actually see in my early videos, I played with quite a lot of haste, but I've changed my ways and I like it a lot better with lower haste. So it's actually quite a miracle that I have this 925 with a bunch of haste on it and other stuff, and I have only 11.5%. But if I could lower this slightly, I would. I mean, I don't know if this is the best, because there's some Brewmasters that have a lot of haste and they do shitloads of DPS, you know, either equal or more than I do, or a little bit less than I do. So really all the stats you have doesn't really matter as long as you're playing well and have a reasonably good item level. So like I'm getting a little bit more haste and I have a little bit less mastery and a little bit less crit, but I have 15% versatility by default. I could switch out this versatility stat stick for an 890 earn, And I lose 2% verse, but I get up to like almost 30% mastery, which I like to sit at. But theoretically, my 27% mastery isn't the worst, so I could equip a crit stick, which is Eye of Gorm, and then I will have 28.5 crit, which rounds this out a little bit better with my mastery. And then I have a pretty good amount of versatility, so honestly, my stats aren't too bad if I wanted to use this trinket here. But if I wanted to get more versatility, then I can obviously switch this out. But in reality, actually, losing 4% crit, is or almost 4% crit, isn't something I really should be aiming for, so technically, I should be equipping this trinket here. Technically. And if I had this trinket on, I actually would be 911 on the dot. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. You're in the safe house. Oh, so you're in the order hall. Training dummy getting hit, other stagger bars working fine, but a stagger amount doesn't. I mean, I don't know exactly what the issue is. Nobody else has come to me with a problem like this. I mean, it could be that player name issue. Maybe you can go ahead and try that and unclick it, because it was clicked before, but you can probably take that off. Aside from that, I mean, it looks like this, you typed in a word that is not English. So maybe if you're on a different language client, like maybe if that's Russian, I don't know if that's Russian, but you might have to change some things, because I actually copied some guys' Guardian Druid weak auras. They're all down here, you could see. Like all these weak auras I downloaded from some Russian guy, and I actually had to change some of these things because they were like tracking a Russian spell name, but I had to change them over to English because they weren't working on my client. So you might have to go ahead and do that. Oh, you checked? That's not the problem? Got my challenge skin finally, hard as heck at 905. There you go, Snoots. Somebody was asking earlier if 905 is possible to get the challenge done, so there you go, man. Snoots was able to do it at 905. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to keep up with two different chats right now because I've got the YouTube and the Twitch one going. 15 to 18 or something, I believe, Adrian, but run with the percent you feel is best with your rotation. I'm at 13, for example. I was just curious. He complains about his pants having high... Well, yeah, I complain about it because I don't like having a lot of haste. In reality, if you have between 10 to 20%, some places might tell you 15 to 25%. I honestly think 25 is a bit high, but 15 is not that bad either. So you honestly can run with whatever you feel comfortable with. I've had, if your concern is damage, my damage has been perfectly fine at 8 to 9%. Like I've had that for most of Legion, is 8 to 9% haste. I've also, as far as tanking goes, my brews have been charged up pretty well. I don't run my 4-set, so if you were thinking that having low haste with the 4-set is required, it's not. I mean, I run both. I run low haste and only the 2-set, so it's doable. My tanking ability is not hindered because of this haste here. You just need to move your rotation around it. Thanks for convincing me to gear my Brewmaster. Now that he's geared, I'm loving the playstyle. Just solo tanked Heroic Gul'dan today. It feels so much better than my Prot Warrior. You solo tanked Heroic Gul'dan? Even I haven't solo tanked him. I mean, I haven't really tried to, but yeah. I mean, grats, man. I still haven't done that, so that's pretty cool. And I'm glad to have helped, man. Brewmaster's a really good class to play. It's really fun. If you use the name of the spell and not the ID, it won't show up on a different client. Oh, that could be it then. I mean, this stagger one that he's trying to use is not mine. Like, I didn't make it. I just have it there, but it's not technically mine. So, I don't know what is and what's not, like a spell name or a spell ID. So you might have to go in there and check everything. Some of the actual coding might be different as well, so you might have to look at the coding too. I had chest and Archimon Hate Reborn. I like 10% haste. Same thing. I have around 10%. Yeah. Chest helps on a ton of challenge, and Archimon's is nice. I was doing it with Purify Belt and Safuz until I finally got a Leech Trinket, then I one-shot it. Yeah, Cheap Breezy was using a Leech Trinket. I was using it for a while, but I actually didn't kill it with the Leech Trinket, so it's doable without. But yeah, Archimonde's Hatred Reborn actually isn't the best for the challenge. It's decent on the Cruel phase because you can use it to help soak an Annihilate or one of the green stomps, but it's not the best legendary. I wouldn't know which would be better though. What are your thoughts of the 725 Brewmaster changes? Some things are good, some things are bad. Like I really like some of the changes, like the talent ones, like Special Deliveries getting changed, Rushing Jade Winds getting changed a bit, and I like those things. And I agree with some of the stagger nerfs. However, they just nerfed Fortifying Brew's stagger amount by 10%. So, like, they're being very heavy-handed with the stagger nerfs, which is a little upsetting. But they're supposed to be met with some armor buffs, so technically it shouldn't be too bad. However, when you nerf our stagger and you only increase our armor, that actually makes us more susceptible to magic damage, which I'm not too happy about. But you gotta just roll with the wind, I guess. Roll with the punches, I should probably say. That's the right thing. I mean, the legendaries are kind of cool. I really don't like the hot-blooded nerf. I don't think it's really required, because we do take a lot of extra damage, so having hot-blooded is really nice. And their reasoning for nerfing it was because 14% damage reduction if you have 3 relics. 14% damage reduction is, like, insane, they said. Like, just should not happen, 14%. So they're nerfing it just on the grounds that it's too high. Like, yes, they're going to make it baseline with the duration on Dragonfire Brew, but I think nerfing it in half is a bit too much. Like, we kind of need the damage reduction to make us not super spiky. I mean, I don't know. It's all based on what they want, which isn't always right. It's annoying sometimes. I killed Cruel and Velen died a second after and I didn't get it. Aw, man. That sucks, dude. That sucks. That happened with us too. We killed actually Croesus for the first time a couple months ago. We killed Croesus at the same time that he broke the bridge. And if you look at the video on my channel, you see Croesus died. And if you slow it down to like 0.25%, Croesus is dead while I am still in the air and I haven't actually fallen into the water yet. So technically, he was dead while at least one person was alive. However, it didn't count. So we were able to get the achievement on like our own characters, but it didn't show up on Warcraft logs and WoW progress until the next week, and we actually didn't get loot from the first time we killed it either. So it kind of sucks. The Hellfire Ring missed the Mystic Vitality. It's okay. It's not the best thing. It's pretty decent though. It basically just means that you can use Dampen Harm. So, I mean, even if they gave you Dampen Harm, that would mean that you could take Mystic Vitality. I mean, I don't think that's really required. I don't have an idea of when you would want to use that ring over a different legendary, because all the other legendaries are pretty good. I mean, if you only have the ring and, like, let's say the boots and like Pride As, then use Pride As and the ring, not the boots. But I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it's decent. It's a nice little buff, but I don't think it's necessary. If I get it, I'm probably not going to equip it unless it's really required that I both have better magic reduction and I also need that cooldown from Dampen Harm. So yeah. On current PTR, how do you see Brewmaster compared to other tanks regarding mythic progress? They'll be at one of the top ones for sure. Bear just got another round of nerfs. Like, Iron Fur is only 65% armor bonus now instead of 85%. So they got nerfed again. So they might drop a little bit further in power, but Bears will still be up there because it's pretty easy to play, and they have a lot of cooldowns, a lot of self-healing. And it's just really, really rock solid physical reduction. Even though it is a nerfed, it's still one of the best. So I think the overall impression is that Paladins and Brewmasters will probably be on top, and then Bears might be slowly behind. And I might be overestimating it, because probably Bears will be at the same level. So in reality, this round of balancing is pretty nice because it brings Paladin, Brewmaster, and Bear like all within the same tier, I guess. Like, they're all equally powerful, and they just have a couple different merits. Like, if you need more cooldowns, a Bear can help you out. But If you need more magic reduction, you need to go with a Brewmaster or a Paladin. And if you need more mobility overall, then you don't want to roll with a bear. So, they all have their strengths and weaknesses, but currently it's looking to be that Warrior, Vengeance, and Blood are still a little bit lacking. They've increased the damage on Blood DK by 15%, and they increased the damage on Vengeance by quite a lot, but they didn't change their overall survivability, so that's really what's concerning a lot of people, is how are they going to be when they actually need to tank stuff. So, yeah. Regarding legendaries to use for the challenge, I personally ran with the Leech Trinket and Guy Plin's legendary belt, and that really helped. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that have run different variety of legendaries. I ran the chest and the trinket, but I could have run any other ones that I had. Bro, that happened when we killed Croesus' first kill. Yeah, it just didn't count. It sucks. I think the Archimon's Hatred Reborn, Other Ring, or Bracers are better. Chest I will wear forever. The chest I really like because it helps smooth out the rotation, but other than DPS and rotational benefit, the chest doesn't bring anything else. It doesn't bring any more defensive value outside of the amount of armor that it brings, because it's going to be a 970 legendary and on a chest, so that's a shit ton of armor and a lot of agility. So like, the Archimon's Trinket has 3000 agility, but the chest has 3150 agility. So just based off of armor, this is technically your strongest legendary, just off of armor alone. And probably stamina and agility and all that, but that just means outside of its defensive and offensive benefit, it's not going to be really the best anymore. If you want a good defensive legendary, you actually won't run with the chest. If you want to be more tanky, you'd probably substitute the chest for the Abbey ring, the stagger one. And maybe you might run the Archimons, you might run Pride as. It might be worth, depending on how important purifying is, it might be worth actually using Guy Plin. We don't know exactly. So we'll see. Doesn't make sense for them to nerf a tank that isn't even considered top tier. I mean, Brewmaster is top tier though. I mean, Guardian Druid is objectively probably a little bit better, but Brewmaster's not far behind Guardian Druid right now, so Brewmaster and Guardian are both top tier. Paladin is top. Paladin's high up there, but it's not top. It still has the low HP pool, which is not fun to play with, and it's a little bit more spiky. But they do a lot of good damage, and they have a lot of utility. Being a third equip exception and a guaranteed drop from class quests. I mean, I don't know where the ring is going to come from, and I don't know where it's going to fall in terms of power, but in my opinion, it's not that powerful unless you need dampen harm, and there so happens to be a lot of magic that you need to mitigate. Because if you really need to run dampen harm over Mystic Vitality, then just run dampen harm. Like, Mystic Vitality is not that required. Like on Gul'dan, right? Mythic Gul'dan, the Fell Scythes are fire damage, right? The Fell Scythe is fire damage. And then I also need a cooldown for it, right? So if I just ran Mystic Vitality, I would most definitely not have been able to solo those things if I just had my stagger and Mystic Vitality. I would have needed an external just like usual. So I needed to run Dampen Harm for Gul'dan. However, if I wanted to run Mystic Vitality and Dampen Harm to help that Fell Scythe damage, I could have. However, it's not necessary. And especially because, yeah, that Mystic Vitality and Dampen Harm might help for the Fell Scythes, but in general, like, would I run the chest and the ring? Like, no. I would probably run, if it was live right now, I would run the chest and my Archimons, for the most part. Or I would run my Archimons and, I would run my chest and my Abbey ring, or something different. Maybe even Guy Plin to an extent, because purifying off of that, Fell Scythe damage is actually going to be pretty juicy, I would imagine. That would be good, but I don't see it. It sounds too reasonable for Blizzard. We'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, at least they're meeting some of the tanks with some buffs. Like I said, Vengeance got buffed quite a bit in the damage, and Blood got buffed by 15% in their DPS, but neither of them have received survivability benefits outside of like Leech and stuff. Because like, if Vengeance does more fire damage because they just do more damage, then they technically get a little bit more Leech off of that. So there is that. Vengeance got a small buff, I guess, to their healing because Soul Cleave costs a little bit less to use. But it's only like 5 pain less, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's 10 pain less. So instead of being between 30 to 60, it's 25 to 50. So I guess technically they got a little bit of a healing benefit, but 10 less pain and only a tiny bit healing, like, I don't know, it's not worth it. They need a buff to their... They need a buff to something else. I don't know what it is though, because like, they already have a bunch of armor. Demon Spikes is powerful and has been nerfed before because it would scale too crazily. But then their magic, like, do you just make Empower Wards a 40% or 30% magic reduction instead of just 20? Or is it 30 with a 20-second cooldown? I can't remember the exact numbers at the moment, but I don't know. Like, because Painbringer is also pretty powerful too, with a 15% reduction with that golden trait. So I don't know. It's a little iffy. Maybe it's just one of those tanks that, until they do a huge overhaul with the next expansion, it's just going to be one of those harder tanks to play that don't really give the most benefit. If I wanted to bring my DK to a heroic run of Nighthold, should I be around 885? Because my monk will be able to roll over it, but I wanted to loot for something that I can't use it. Yeah, you can bring your 885 in there. That's perfectly fine. What does Nighthold even drop right now? Nighthold drops heroic. Nighthold drops 890 gear on heroic, man. So 885 is right there in the ballpark. I mean, you might have people that decline you because you're not 905 plus with 50,000 traits in your weapon and 10 legendaries, but you know, that's just them being an asshole. For the most part, 885 should get you into a heroic. They are getting nerfed though, Swear Girls. The bears are getting nerfed. Are Paladins and DKs on the same tier token? I don't know actually. I don't really know. Yeah, Vengeance has the auto consume, so they will have a overall higher uptime on Painbringer, which is nice. I mean, it technically, like, if you fracture and then that generates 2 souls and you already have 5 sitting on, then technically you'll have a, what is it, a 6% reduction? Is it if it's 3%? I can't remember all the numbers exactly, but I mean, that's pretty decent. You have like a variable, like Mage Talent with Incanter's Flow, if you guys know that, where it kind of like rolls between 15% more damage done and then it goes back down to like 5 and then up to 15 and then back down to 5. That would kind of be how Painbringer would work, right? Depending on how many souls you can consume, like by default. You're a noob tank and picked up a Brewmaster Monk. Wish me luck. Alright, Noob Druid. Good luck, man. Noob Druid. Vengeance has a lot of small magic damage reduction cooldowns. If stacked correctly, you can take every 100 energy Fell Scythe on Gul'dan Mythic without calling for externals. Yeah, nukes. Like, I mean, it's there. The power is there, but it takes so much time. Like, if you're specifically saving 5 souls to get a 15% reduction on Fell Scythe from Painbringer, like, what if you need to Soul Cleave before to save yourself? Because, like, he's auto-attacking too much, right? Like, if you need to Soul Cleave before, then that's all your souls gone. And, like, all your pain gone as well, depending on how much you had banked. So, you have that. Then you can use your Empower Wards, which should be up every time, which is fine. Then, what would you use? Your Soul Barrier on one, and then your Firebrand on another, and then Metamorphosis on one. Well, Meta's a health buff, but I don't know. I mean, it can be done, right? It just requires so much, like, pre-planning, and it could easily get messed up. Like, what if you have your 5 souls and you're ready to go, Fell Scythe's about to come out, but then because you have to tank him and kite him back and forth, you're out of range of your souls. It's just kind of like you're screwed then. Bossweed, I actually know nothing about prop paladins in terms of haste, so I can't really help you out there, man. Oh man, I've been ignoring the YouTube chat. I'm sorry, guys. What are your stats regarding mastery and crit so low, though? I got more haste and around 10% more crit and mastery. Just lost 2% verse for that. Why are your stats regarding mastery and crit so low? I mean, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I got 28.5% crit, 11.5% haste, 27 mastery, and almost 13.5% verse. I mean, and I happen to snag 6% avoidance. That's pretty neat. I don't think they're so low. I mean, when I was rocking some of my other gear, I can't remember exactly what were the ones that I was equipping. Yes, this is what I had before. I had 30% crit, 30% haste, 10%. I mean, I had 30% crit, 10% haste, 30% mastery, and 10.5% versatility. Like, this is very, very rounded out. This is what I was actually rocking with for the most part for like many, many months. But when I switch out this 925, oh, now I'm in combat. God damn it. Well, when I switched out some of these 925s and stuff, my stats change a bit. My stat procs, but yeah. About mastery, is the low cap around 20% an important thing? I mean, after this 28% mastery, do I need to focus more on crit and verse? Or just say like before, mastery, crit, versatility, whatever. I mean, for the most part, Barbaroos, that's all you have to do. You just kind of like grab whatever stats you can, really. Like, if I had 925 item level, but if I wanted 925 item level, I had to be like 30% haste and like 20% mastery, then, I mean, so be it, right? I mean, item level is more important than your stats, for the most part. So yeah, you can, to an extent, just say, get whatever stats. If you want to min-max a bit, then you can go for that. Like on Star Augur, I want to have as much versatility and as least mastery as possible, so I want to go more for high crit, high verse on Augur, because it's all magic. And on Gul'dan, I try and have a little bit more versatility than this, but I need to have my mastery because after I get Fell Scythe, he gets an increased attack speed. So. The tooltip on the new ring doesn't say that it's one of the 2 legendaries you can wear, essentially. If that's the case, it's worth wearing, even if there's a minimal magic damage. This doesn't have on the tooltip, though. Unique equip Legion Legendary 2. Oh, so if that's there and if the ring doesn't say it, then possibly you're just able to equip a 3rd legendary, which is the ring. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to an extent, I guess might be worth equipping, because then you could always have Dampen Harm, if that's true. Or you could always have healing elixirs, but I don't know. I just don't feel like the stats on that would equate to, like, would it be worth? Maybe the stamina might be worth. I don't know. That's something that I myself can't figure out until I can test it more. But if you wanted a more direct question, then the math people on like the Discord can help you out with that. Alright. 905 link curve will armor you, fail equals kick. Yeah, exactly. Do you play Blood DK? I have a Blood DK at 110, but it's like 840 item level, and I never touch it, so... No, I don't really play Blood DK. I know a little bit about them, like just a little bit, but I don't really play it. Okay, that's exactly why I was wondering why I have so much more crit, haste, and mastery than you do. I mean, yeah, it's just some of the stuff that I switch around. Like, I don't want to have my 890 equipped. I want to have my 925. It's too much agility, too much armor, too much stamina lost having this 890 on there, so I need to equip this. And if I lose some stats elsewhere, then so be it. I just have to. Dude, I just wanted to say, I love your guides, man. Help me out a lot with Brew. Much love. Well, thank you very much, Random XEU. Thank you for checking out the stream, dude. And I appreciate the kind words, dude. I'm at 40% haste, so I think that is too much. I mean, it might be Boss Weed. I don't know, though. Keep in mind, you're seeing the ring at 910 as far as I've seen. We haven't seen a 970 variant yet. Probably. Let me actually go on the PTR real quick. Can I go on the PTR right now? I'm stuck in combat. I can't exit the game. Alright, let me go on the PTR real quick. Let me check out that ring. See if I can equip 3 legendaries. Well, I don't know if the ring is even available on the PTR. It might show up, but it's not. Maybe you can buy it. Let me open up the PTR. Please elaborate more on how you do Fell Scythes on Mythic Gul'dan. You take one with Dampen Harm. What about the other ones? The first one that I take, the very first one that I solo nukes, is with the extra action button, because you take 0 damage with that button. So I soak that one with that, and then I let me just log in, and then the next one that I soak, I use Dampen Harm only. I mean, I could probably stack my trinket on it, but I just really use Dampen Harm, and that's it. I don't call for an external. I just soak the first one with Dampen Harm. The next one is going to be Fortifying Brew and my trinket. The one after that is most likely an external, depending on how the situation goes. Maybe I need an external. Maybe I can just deal with Zen Med if I can time it right. But that is that. Then after that one with the external or the Zen Med, I will use Dampen Harm again. And then by that time, he should be dead. And we're in the Illidan phase. No, Brewmaster. Wait, Windwalker gets another legendary? What? Blackout Kick, reduce the cost and cast time of your Refuse by 10%. And increases... Why would this be useful outside of PvP? Soul of the Grandmaster. That's kind of cool. The other one was Soul of the Slayer that I was talking about. Soul of the Archdruid. Oh, then I guess that... Oh, that makes sense then. But that sounds cool anyway. Soul of the Grandmaster. Gain one of the following talents based on your spec. Mystic Vitality, Mist Wrap, and Chi Orbit. Wait, no, you're wrong, man. It says here at the top, you see 940, right? 940, binds when picked up, unique equipped, and then unique equipped Legion Legendary 2. So you can only equip this and another legendary. You can't equip 3. So I guess you would be wrong on that front. I mean, the small amount of stats, it gives you it gives you some crit, some haste, some mastery with a socket. So you probably just put verse in there. Or an agility gem. I don't know. I don't think this is worth equipping all the time. I really don't. But we'll see. Stream more. I love your voice. Gyro. I usually stream like 3 or 4 days a week sometimes. But I haven't actually been streaming on YouTube for a while because it hasn't actually worked. So yeah, man, you could probably expect more streams now since I got everything to work. It's in your legendary tab, not in game. Yeah. Do you not main a Guardian no more? No, Joshua, I haven't actually mained Guardian since probably early November is when I fully made the switch over to my Brewmaster. So I've been playing my Brewmaster for around 7 months now as my main. Right? May is 5 months. Yeah, 6 or 7 months, yeah, I've been playing Brewmaster as my main character, dude. I still play my Guardian a lot, but I don't main it. What do you think of the 2-piece and 4-piece tier 20? Do you think that 2-piece tier 19 and 4-piece tier 20 will be king, even though that means no more legendary chest? The legendary chest, like I said before, is not going to be required unless you just want the extra damage. This is probably going to be your highest DPS legendary, unless you can cheese stuff with Synodaria. So it'll still be worth equipping this if you want to do DPS. However, for the item sets, consuming a brew has a 100% chance to generate a gift of the Ox Orb. So here, I'm pretty sure the 4 set will be mandatory. Like, that is so much stagger cleared by just healing up like you normally would, that the 4 set is probably going to be mandatory when you're trying to push progression. After a while, you probably won't need the reduction because your healers are so good. and you're so geared that you can outgear the content. But if you're trying to push Mythic and you're trying to really get Heroic down, like if you're in a Heroic guild that progresses pretty heavily on Heroic only, the 4 set is probably going to be mandatory. Well, maybe not mandatory, but it'll be stupid not to have it on. It's like the Bear 4-piece right now. Like, not the tier 20, the tier 19 Guardian Druid 4-piece. Like, it's not mandatory, but it would be stupid not to equip it if you need it, right? So that's probably what this is going to fall into. The 4 set is not required on tier 19, so you don't need to have this. The 2 set is really nice. The 5% extra stagger, that's going to be good because we're getting some stagger nerfs here and there. However, unless this Titan forges, or depending on the pieces you get here, and also depending on the pieces that you equip for legendaries, then you kind of have to figure out what you're going to do. It's pretty tough. It's like, if you want the legendary helmet, then you can't equip the tier helmet, right? If you want the chest, then you can't equip both sets. If you want to equip... Oh, actually, the only one that really matters is going to be the chest and the head for us. That's kind of cool, I guess. So I guess it depends on what legendary you want. Either the helmet or the chest. If you want to equip either of these, then you can't do the 2-piece, 4-piece combo. I mean, you've got to have a pretty good Titan Forge to get this 2 set working, because look what drops out of Tomb as far as gear. Heroic drops 915s, and then towards the end 925s. The Desolate Host. Oh no, Kill Jaden drops 925, but everybody else drops 915 on Heroic. So, just by default, that means that this 910 shoulder probably will get beat out, depending. But on Mythic, let me find it, it drops 930 base, and then Kill Jaden drops 940. Right? Looks like it. Yeah, Kill Jaden drops 940 plus, so... like, that alone off of armor and everything, the 2 set's probably not going to be worth equipping at that point. It's just too many base stats that you're missing. Agility, armor, stamina, and whatever stats it brings, so that's probably what I think. I'm a big fan of 903 item level Monk Tank, and I want to know, what do you think about the fundamental observation? It's a pretty decent legendary, Olivier, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. It's pretty decent legendary. It's not the best though, but it's pretty good. That ring, boots, chest, or something would be better. Oh, nice. Congrats, Snoots. You just got Guy Plin. Awesome. But yeah, we're going to have to see the stats when the ring goes up to 970, Ajax. You're alright. But somebody was saying earlier that you could equip the ring and 2 other legendaries, and this tooltip is saying that it's not the case, so... But yeah, I mean, these stats are decent. But again, I think that there's more useful legendaries than this. Unless you need to have the cooldown and the magic reduction, this is not really required. I don't believe. The Abbey Ring is going to be better in more situations. I'm pretty sure. Archimon's is a cooldown, so if you really need to dampen harm, like, you could probably just substitute the trinket for dampen harm, and then you don't really need to equip this, do you? So. I notice I take a lot of damage having low verse at 3% and high mastery at 34%. Not really having problems with bruise with 12% haste. Could lower even more and crit at 29. Yeah, Harvey, you're going to have to probably try and work to get your versatility up a little bit more. 34% mastery is quite high. I mean, that's a good place to be at. Although, in my opinion, it's quite high. And then considering that you have only 3% versatility, I would work pretty hard to get that 3% verse up and lower that mastery if that's the way you have to do it. Also, it depends on your item level a little bit, Harvey. Because, like, I'm 910. Well, I guess my stats are a little bit weird because of the stuff I'm wearing on the PTR. So again, I'm not going to talk about that on the PTR then. I'm in a Guardian Druid 917 right now. What is your thoughts on Prop Paladin for maybe an off tank? Prop Paladins are really good, man. If you wanted to talk about it as an alt to play, it's good. If you want to play if you want an off tank, like a tanking buddy as a paladin, then that's a great choice as well. They're going to be really good in Tomb as well. So I would say it's a pretty solid choice if that's what you're looking for. I mean, in reality, any tank that you want to play with is going to be good. If they're good. If the player is good, then they can get everything done. Like, how many times have I talked about Prot Warrior being really bad in Nighthold, just in general, because the magic damage is pretty high? Yet, I just killed Mythic Gul'dan earlier this week with a Prot Warrior co-tank. So, it's doable, you just gotta have a good player at it. And ult, yeah, Prot Paladin's gonna be really good, Joshua. I would definitely try and play one if you want. Gaiplin and Archimon, yeah, those big damage bursts are nice. I don't plan on wearing the ring since I have Gaiplin and the trinket. Yep, you see? And then Purifying is going to be a little bit more powerful next patch, so Gaiplin's going to get more use out of it. But it would be pretty interesting to get on my Havoc DH so I can get First Blood on top of something else. Chaos Cleave, dude. You want Chaos Cleave. Speaking of Havoc, if you haven't played Havoc on the PTR, guys, I would highly suggest that you go ahead and start playing it. Because, my god, Prepared as a Havoc Demon Hunter on the PTR is just delicious. It's just delicious. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm playing Vengeance right now. Hold on. I gotta go to Havoc. My FPS is probably a little bit shitty right now just because all of these add-ons aren't configured for the PTR, but they should work for now. Let me move this down a little bit further. Let me just move it over here. Alright, so you can see my Havoc Recourse. I have a Vengeance tank right now at 899. I love it because it's so fast-paced, however, it just still seems to have way too much spiky damage. Yep, that is the Vengeance. Just as a default rule of thumb, they need to be a little bit more spiky just because they are a healing-based class. Like Blood Decay. So they have to take more damage so that their healing actually is worth something. So you have to just kind of get used to that playstyle a little bit. But in reality, they are a little bit spiky, so yeah. So basically, on PTR, Prepared, when you do Vengeful Retreat, it's going to give you 100 Fury over 10 seconds as opposed to only 40 Fury over 10 seconds. So if I go over to this guy, and all I do is do a backflip, right? You'll see that I will get 100 energy. Let me turn the sound off. All this energy just generating over 10 seconds. I don't have to do anything besides press Vengeful Retreat once it's off cooldown, right? And on top of that, running Prepared means that I have Vengeful Retreat as an extra button to my rotation, which is very good because Havoc already has a pretty boring rotation. So Vengeful Retreat added on top of that, it makes it pretty nice. Then that means you also get to add Demon's Bite back because Demon Blades is auto attack. So you get 2 extra buttons to your rotation just by going for Prepared. But in reality, if I wanted to play with this playstyle, it is so good. Like, I just get to play and I'm just constantly getting Fury. And then if I just Demon's Bite once, I usually get like a pretty good amount of Fury back. And look, like, I press Demon's Bite and I press Fellblade once and I'm still sitting at almost full Fury. And I can still do my entire rotation. And all of this is just working really, really well for me. I got a Demon's Bite a few times, but then Fellblade procced again, so that's great. And I can just keep playing like this. It's like there's never a moment of downtime, and if you have downtime, you can use your Throw Glaive, and you could also use your Fell Rushes too. You don't want to lose out on those, so overall, this playstyle is really fun, and I'm probably going to play a little bit of Havoc in the next patch, because Prepared is just... This playstyle is really, really interesting to me. So, yeah, also that means that there's a little bit more room for momentum if you wanted to play with that. So, after your Vengeful Retreat, you could just unload with Chaos Strikes. But yeah. You reckon Demon Blades no longer is the go-to talent? Oh yeah, for sure. Demon Blades is not going to be the go-to. They've wanted Demon Blades to be like the easier playstyle, but not the best playstyle. And they actually mentioned that before because some people were worried, like before Legion launched, that is there ever going to be a world where the auto attack basic, just wait around playstyle is going to be the best for Havoc. And they didn't want that to happen. And then Blizzard said, yes, that's not going to happen. We don't want that to be a reality because Demon Blades is obviously the less interesting playstyle. It shouldn't be the best playstyle. But they have epically failed. And now they're fixing that by nerfing Demon Blades. They also nerfed the legendary ring, Anger of the Half Giants, only additional 1 to 3 Fury, which means this is no longer the go-to anymore. So what was go-to and what was BIS is no longer BIS. So I'm pretty sure that people are going to start going prepared over Demon Blades. And if they wanted to run the demonic build, then they would probably just start going demonic appetite and all this stuff, blind fury and whatever else that you need for demonic. Because Chaos Strike has 25% chance to spawn lesser soul fragment. So yeah, in general, either you'll probably have a good split between people going demonic and people going prepared, because prepared generally doesn't mean that you have to change your playstyle on anything else. You can stick with this exact place with these exact talents that you normally stick with. You just switch out Demon Blades for prepared, and it works exactly the same. You just have to fit Vengeful Retreat into your rotation now, which I think is pretty fun and overall going to be pretty easy to play with. But in dungeons, if you wanted to run momentum, then your Vengeful Retreat's going to help you with that. And then if you wanted to run Fell Barrage, then what you can do is you can backflip, and then as you're running back in, you can Fell Barrage with your 1 minute cooldown, and then you have your momentum buff. So that's pretty good. Let me throw this here. Oh, it's already on my bar. Oh, I just used it. Never mind. Well, I guess I can't show you there, but basically you would just Vengeful Retreat, then probably rush back in, Fell Barrage, and then do like a Chaos Strike or Blade Dance. That's a good amount of burst right there because of momentum. Not too bad. All in all, like, I think I like Havoc more than Windwalker, but Windwalker is the monk, which I've loved the monk like since its inception, so it's going to be hard to play off depending on like what DPS class I would want to play. But this prepared playstyle is so fun to me just now on the PTR that I think it'll be pretty hard to give it up, honestly. Like, I really do. It's just so fun. And really, you can fit momentum into this playstyle pretty easily too if you wanted to go for that. And you're usually sitting at a lot of energy that you don't really have to worry too much. And here we go. I can get 2 Chaos Strikes in there. Like, I really think that this will be the go-to. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. You reckon Demon... Okay, in terms of pure damage, I think the 2 best legendaries are Chest and the Windwalker Trinket, which I heard you can also use on Brewmaster. Since Broken Shore popped up on my shards, go 5,000 trinkets in Windwalker loot spec. Yeah, that's what I do. I open up my trinkets as Windwalker, try and get a good legendary or a good stat stick off of them. But yeah, the Kill Jaden's Burning Wish is a good legendary. If you can get a good amount of cleave on it, so it's actually pretty decent in dungeons because you're able to switch it on and off. And a little pro tip: if you do have Kill Jaden's Burning Wish, you can min-max it even further by saying, okay, imagine this trinket, my legendary trinket was Kill Jaden's, right? I pop Kill Jaden's on this pack of ads, right? Get all the damage from it. Then, as soon as that ad pack is over, I switch off the trinket to, let's say, a stat stick and start doing stuff. And then, when I have a weaker or something tracking my cooldown, when my trinket has 30 seconds left on the cooldown, if I'm not in combat, I'll switch it back out to the trinket, because when 30 seconds is left, so to demonstrate, well, gotta wait 30 seconds now, but I'll demonstrate it when it comes back up. When 725 comes out, are you gonna do any more in-depth class guides like you did for Guardian and Monk? Yes. For the most part, Monk is gonna play kind of similar because they didn't follow through with all the rotational changes. But there's a lot of the stuff that's changing, a lot of legendaries that might be changing, and our artifact is changing, so some of the stuff will change. There's a lot of changes there, I know. So a new guide might be worth, I think a bear guide for the most part, maybe a rotational increase, a rotational difference, and then just saying that Mark of Ursal is no longer there. I don't think a whole guide will be necessary, but I probably will make another one. Okay, so to demonstrate, I'm about to go into a pack of ads, right? I'll use my trinket, right? I go in, I blow up these ads, I do all the damage, you know, everything's good. I do the stuff. All right, and then, okay, so the ads are dead, all right? Ads are dead, I'm out of combat. Since I used my trinket, I need to switch this trinket off, and I'll just go to a stat stick, whatever. I'll switch this out, right? Then I'll just go and I'll start doing the rest of my combat. I'll do a boss, or I'll do another pack of ads, whatever. And I'm just doing my stuff, I'm fighting, and I'm doing my things, and that's all I gotta do. I don't really have to worry about anything. And then, okay, so we're approaching near the end of combat. Okay, we're out of combat. Okay. Now, before I get to the next pack of ads, if I wait just a couple more seconds, what I can do is I can switch this trinket off to my legendary one. And then because it had 30 seconds left on the cooldown, I have to be forced to wait 30 seconds before I could even use the effect. So I'll switch it back, and then I'll be in combat, and I'll do my stuff. And then the next pack of ads, or the next boss or whatever, I'll use my trinket off cooldown, and then bam, I'll just switch it in and out again. So that's one way that you can go about min-maxing that trinket if you want to. Although the trinket itself, just equipping it, is going to give you a lot of agility and a lot of secondary stats, so it might not be the smartest idea to constantly switch it because the agility is really nice. However, you can do that. You can do that. Alright guys, but I really have to go to dinner soon. I gotta start getting ready to go eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this for the stream. This was just gonna be testing stream settings and whatever, but we ended up making it about an hour long of just like hanging out. So I'm glad to have talked to you guys and catch up a little bit, since I have been a little MIA recently with my streams. So thank you guys for watching and asking questions and whatever, but that's gonna be it for me. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday for another stream. So I'll catch you guys later.